Malcolm Woods is a property developer from London. He has come to Las Vegas with the goal of buying, renovating, and selling a property within 90 days. He is known in London for drinking 1,000 bottles of champagne a year and has earned himself the nickname Champagne Malky. He usually comes to Las Vegas to spin the roulette wheel. This time he's gambling with a property. Malcolm was out partying and he got separated from the group. It's now 1 p.m. the next day, and he is not answering his phone.
I would like to just bust down this door right now with a sledgehammer.
I woke up with a terrible hangover trying to put last night's pieces together, and Sophie comes into the suite tearing into me.
You've got to cut it off at some point and actually get down to business. I tried to ring you, I didn't hear from you, or your phone went off, and you've got people waiting down at the side. It's already 1 p.m. They're going to totally rip you off if they think that you're just, driving around, drinking your champagne, girls running around.
What happened last night? You have my bank card.
Malcolm wants me to talk to some girl who supposedly took his credit card. He lost all his money, everything in his pocket. Do you guys know anything about that too? Or I think he got robbed by a couple hookers last night.
Malcolm remembers drinking with some girls at the casino bar and then going to get gambling money out of the safe in Sophie's room.
Let's see how safe the safe is.
I just took it out, grabbed the drawer, and ran up that, and then that was it. 2,000 fucking pounds. That's like about $3,000. They nicked the money and the passport, my passport.
Alex is going to pick up Malcolm's credit card. Maybe he should ask about the passport while he's there.
It looks like it may unfortunately be time to stop the party. I sent Sophie and Cindy out to the property to check on the progress and meet with the structural engineer.
Right there.
Perfect. He just wants to have a look at the ceiling, that's why he put the holes. The structural engineers seem pretty happy. He's going to be able to do what you want to do for this property.
I was not expecting the hot girl construction workers, but I wasn't disappointed.
Sophie and Cindy got back to the hotel. Alex was still negotiating with the girls that had robbed a very drunken Malcolm the night before.
It was in my bag. It was in my stuff, like my ID and stuff.
There's no way these girls are gonna give you the money back.
Trust me, they know how wasted he was, so it ain't no way he could bring that on me and my friends.
After a 2-day hangover, I was back at the site with Craig trying to figure out how to save my ass on this deal.
It's so out of whack right now, it's gonna be a big loss. We're probably upside down 25,000.
Craig asked the right questions, but when I tell him what I want, he starts looking confused. You've got an electrician coming down here today?
No, I don't have anybody. I've got guys.
You've got a guy?
Yeah, I've got.
Can you not call him up? An electrician should be able to knock everything out I need on this floor in a day. 4 there, 3 along there, 2 along there, 2 in each room. I seem to say something in English and I'm getting it back in Chinese.
Malcolm has the same standard for us chicks as everyone else that works on the site, male, female. We just got to knock it out.
The pain would have been over. I just put 165,000 on red and I wouldn't have to go through any of this.
Malcolm wants to replace the wall at the top of the stairs with a handrail. Since none of Craig's workers have shown up yet, the girls are picking up the slack.
I think Matt was very happy with our performance. I think we're even outworking some of the construction workers.
As we were winding up for the day, Craig's associates, Eric and James, showed up to look at the job site.
Eric Prentice, how you doing?
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Good to see you.
This is James Matthews.
Hey, what's up, baby?
Not much. How are you doing?
James, this is Malcolm.
Nice to meet you, James.
Nice to meet you. How are you doing?
I gave them a tour and explained yet again what I had in mind for the house.
Malcolm is hoping to replace contractor David Naylor and give the job to Craig's associates in order to save money.
They seemed like a knowledgeable couple of guys.
They gave him some prices that were way better than David Naylor's.
The next day, Craig brought some workers to the site. Malcolm marked a cutout for a wall in the backyard.
Malcolm's really stressed out. It's gonna be a tough day.
I go to pick up Cindy and I'm sitting 40 minutes to the place where I'm supposed to pick her up, and to come to find out, she's somewhere else.
I was super late today. I had this bullshit story, but I couldn't, keep up with the lies.
Finally, Eric and James showed up with an electrician.
200, 400, 600.
I think I could probably be all right with the 1,200.
We're supposed to come here and just look at some stuff, and next thing I know, we're bidding jobs in 5 seconds and trading money.
Okay, that's fine.
We're gonna start making a mess.
Please, let's get going.
Making a mess.
Please,
Okay.
I'm begging you.
Crazy, I'll tell you.
Having women on the job site is great, but sometimes not so great for productivity.
Hey, what's going on there, guys?
Go.
Gotta stop wiggling all the bits and pieces. The workers thought I was crazy when I brought the girls in, but now they're under pressure and they're trying to keep up with them.
Greg showed up with a load of stone for the backyard while Malcolm gave David Naylor the news.
Things are expensive in London, trust me. But I mean, the economics of what you're going to sell it for and what the builders' prices are coming in for is impossible. David is an absolute lovely fella. We're still great friends. He understands my predicament. When the going gets tough, I have to get going, or I have to try and save my ass.
If he wants to pick up tools and do stuff himself, you know, more power to him.
I tell you what, I'm almost feeling like those gangsters should just take me to the desert and bury me. After a couple of very trying weeks at the house, I got a new suite and we had a party to celebrate my birthday. Pity I didn't know how many birthdays this project was going to cost me in the end.
Malcolm's visa expired and he had to leave Las Vegas.
Malcolm left Craig $10,000 to give to Eric so the job could continue while he was gone. Back on the beach in Ibiza, he just couldn't seem to relax.
When I went away, what do they call that? They call that out of sight, out of mind.
After a long weekend at the strip clubs, Eric and Craig were out of money. Finally, after 4 long weeks, Malcolm got a new visa and headed back to Las Vegas.
I got kicked out of the country. I just got back in. Everything's a mess. How you doing, Alex?
Morning.
Cool. Does everyone in Las Vegas need money for gas and lunch before they show up to work? $1,000 down payment. Now they need you to run down there, hold their dicks, and give them $200.
Malcolm, they spent the money on buying materials.
You think I would ever go through this with these people again? I'd rather chop me legs off.
Eric arrived at the house to find that it had been broken into and vandalized.
I just got here to the Corey place. And everything's fucking gone. And I mean everything. The only thing we got left is a half a fucking toilet, and they vandalized the house.
Dude, are you serious? You're totally serious.
I swear, they vandalized everything. I mean, the only thing I got here is a damn toilet.
Is there any way we're gonna get this done by Saturday? We have the open house on Saturday.
Malcolm's coming back today. House has been vandalized. Here it is Wednesday. We gotta be done by Saturday.
As soon as I land, I've got more problems. Do you know what? I wish I'd have stayed away in England. The place looked like a bomb went off. I left Eric with $10,000 and we haven't had any progress. Everybody's standing there holding their balls. Do you know we have problems? This is Wednesday. We've got to have an open house by Saturday.
You're not gonna like upstairs. All the electrical's gone and it's a mess.
What the fuck is that, man? Oh my God. Look what they've done. And you've lost all the lights.
All the trims are ripped out, the wiring's torn out, everything's a mess.
This is what you call coming back to happy Las Vegas.
They destroyed the entire house.
Everybody's lost their tools to some punk kids from the 18th Street. If this happened in London, the first thing I'd do is go and find them! I'm so done with this rubbish. Oh my God. Come on guys, get in. Let's go. I'm not having this anymore.
They're gonna go after some gang that stole their tools.
Where is everybody?
So Malcolm went with a bunch of the guys with like bats and all sorts of weapons to go look for them. I'm kind of petrified something's gonna happen.
I have all the tools.
A bunch of beat-up carpenters against a gang in Las Vegas. Who do you think is gonna win that one?
In the end, we drove around the block a few times and then got back to work. If you're gonna tag my house, at least let me be a part of your gang. Yo.
The lights have been stolen, so Sean the electrician needs to buy new ones.
I'll float you till we get back.
Thank you so much, my friend. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna sort you out, mate. Every time I send Alex out for building supplies, it takes him forever. I think he's gone to another state. Don't come back without the tiles. 15 of them, and just match it up as best you can. It doesn't have to be an exact match. Bill came to the property to see if we were really going to be ready for the open house in 4 days. Oh, Bill.
This is this Saturday, not next Saturday, right?
I do think we're trying to make it for this Saturday, Bill. I may have had to lie to him. I don't know yet. Gonna have a stamped concrete walkway, a couple of paths meeting each other, and you see we've created a fountain.
It's Wednesday, Malcolm. Are you sure it's gonna be ready Saturday?
Well, they're going to be working all night. In fact, I've got some guard dogs coming to guard outside the house so they don't leave.
Barry showed up late as usual.
Sorry, I didn't get in the house till 7 in the
Yeah, I
morning.
heard you went on a binge out.
I did. 2 strip clubs.
I guess you went from the pole to the job site.
It was like $3 drinks at one strip club. I stayed there forever.
God,
And then I went to the other one and that was it. The sun was up.
I've got a tile job that will get rid of your hangover straight away.
Oh my gosh.
Out of nowhere, a couple showed up and wanted to see the house.
Even though this guy wears gloves, he wasn't impressed with the graffiti. He told Eric he wasn't interested.
I spent the morning painting over the horrific graffiti that these gangs had left.
Barry gave Sophie a hand before going downstairs to fire up her saw. Malcolm is now 5 months into a project that he thought was going to take 90 days.
We had a full crew working, carpenters, landscapers, tilers and electricians. I made the rounds and talked to everyone.
I need to get some more materials in order to finish.
Okay then, well, I'm at your service. I'm gonna run off and get the materials right now.
Malcolm's paying him by the hour, and Barry's the one doing all the work.
Alex hired Denny to tile the bathrooms while Malcolm was away. Malcolm isn't happy about Barry doing all the work.
The landscapers are like an old married couple fighting all the time.
We laid it out. You left. I did lay it.
The reason why we get paid on all our jobs is because you do it the way I tell you to do it.
You say so in your own mind. I don't think so. He's got to show a little respect, and Eric doesn't know how to do that, you know. But, you know, I've known him a long time. I know how he is. You just deal with it. It's hot.
Imagine if Malcolm started smoking meth. He'd start looking like Phil.
I got an idea for a really nice rail, but who knows how much it's gonna cost me.
James knows the perfect place to look for a rail, and Eric has a plan to save money on it.
What we'll do is we'll buy all the parts and we'll just fabricate it ourselves. What do you think, Malcolm?
Yeah, I think that's the one.
Cindy arrived at the job site, ready to party.
We found something perfect, and we've got all the stuff that we need to work with. The carpet guy finally arrived and his numbers were reasonable. I believe we've got a deal, but you've got to do it by Friday, right?
Right, not a problem. The painters arrived as Sophie was cleaning up the last of the graffiti.
It's got to a stage where I'm actually not counting the days anymore, I'm counting the hours. Now there is today, and today doesn't end until you can't work no more. So tonight it's going on. I've got 2.5 days, including tonight, before the open house. If I can't see that it's going to get done by Friday evening, I'm going to bring in some more people and they're just going to have to get it done. There's no more time, there's no more excuses. We either do it or we fail. The cabinet guys finally arrived. They are supposed to work all night and have the kitchen installed by the morning. I get Eric and the girls working in bikini. I get big discount, yeah?
The next morning, Malcolm got to the job site expecting to see the kitchen completed. Unfortunately, the kitchen was measured incorrectly, and they are 2 cabinets short.
Of course the cabinet guys screwed up. There's no negotiation. They lose time, and I lose money. What's that about, Tony? What do you reckon? What happened there? 4 eyes and 10 tape measures. IKEA, 4 hours away. Tony, they're the ones that can't measure, and I'm the one that has to pay.
If I was Malcolm, I'd have fired the cabinet guys, send my own guys, complete the project, and not pay them.
I'm Malcolm Woods here, and Vegas is just skinning me up. We don't do things like this in London. I'm not happy. I'm not having it.
Alex showed up with a load of bamboo to cover up the prison walls. Eric's stepson just got out of jail and came to the job site to hit on the girls. Barry was late as usual. It turns out Phil is by far the most popular guy on the job site.
You gotta keep her away from me with those big old things hanging out in my face.
Okay, Sophia, we're gonna clean the door jambs. We have to apply some primer.
Eric and James have quite a few characters working on this job. They're great in the morning, but by 2 in the afternoon, they all seem drunk.
I drink anything, smoke anything, do anything.
Like that. This remodel is taking years off my life. I lost 4 weeks, but I paid for the 4 weeks to be going. But they didn't happen. So I'm the loser. I'm the 3 times, 4 times loser. But the builders don't pay for it. They just get more money. Talking. Don't get anything done. And then any mistakes made apparently seem to be my mistake.
James has a price sheet that Malcolm agreed to, and he's making sure they don't go over budget on his end.
I never know if I get through to Malcolm. He just walks away and says, you know, whatever, I guess we'll do that. I just want to get it done. This is hell. This is bloody hell.
It's just going to be impossible if I don't get this material. I'm waiting on Malcolm right now. I'm dead in the water without it.
I have to be at their beck and call. I virtually have to live in the bank in order to keep them satisfied with money. I have to get on. My brain can't take it anymore.
Are you alright, man?
No.
But it's coming tomorrow and I gotta get this shit done no matter what.
The crew kept working into the night, and Malcolm worried that he wouldn't be ready for the open house.
Inside, I'm a real volcano.
The next morning, the house was still a mess.
I actually had an ATM installed up my arse like yesterday. Talk in me ear, twiddle me nose, that's it, the money pops out.
James reminded Malcolm that Denny, the tile guy, had bought $50 worth of pipes and would need to be reimbursed.
Malcolm's like, oh, bloody hell, mate. What is that, like, just like 3 meters of pipe? What are these pipes made out of gold?
You're gonna leave out the second fix because I can't take it.
He'll go to Total Wine and spend $700 on champagne, and he's bugging us over $50.
So when this is over, you're not gonna see me for 4 or 5 days because I'll be in my tomb of drunkenness. When I've got no memory of this, that's when I'll stop drinking. Bill came to see the house and I told him that we were going to have to move the open house back one day.
We're supposed to have an open house tomorrow. The house isn't ready for an open house. I've got flyers out to thousands of people. This is a disaster.
Malcolm cracked under the pressure and decided to hire a limousine and take everyone down to the strip to blow off steam.
James invited his wife and daughter. That may have been a bit of a mistake on his part.
After 3 months in jail, Eric's stepson was in heaven. Things got wild in the limo, and when they stopped at a casino, James knew he was in for it.
What are you doing with all these girls? You didn't tell me that these women were gonna be here. I thought this was men with hammers.
The party continued late into the night.
We had a few brandies, then we decided to get into the pair. Back to reality now with a terrible hangover.
Malcolm decided to sneak out early the next morning and hide from everyone.
They're heading to the job site now. These workers are upset. They're waiting for their money.
The workers were all expecting payment, so he sent Alex to the job site with $200. He was laughing to himself, wondering how Alex was going to play it off. Alex caught up with him later that night at a room in the Plaza Hotel.
I had to run and hide in this little suite because once I'm there, they keep chasing me for the ATM stuck up my arse. Next time it will be work first, money last.
All the rocks are hitting me, and I'm getting hit with these rocks, and they're stinging.
Alex looks like he might just crack under the pressure.
I've been running. I don't know why I'm even paying them, making me do all that running.
12:30, the showing's at 1 o'clock. Malcolm's not here yet.
The open house today. I've got the champagne ready and we're gonna have a good day. Let's sell this thing.
Alex, mate, people have only just finished. People don't get paid instantly, yeah? There's no such thing as instant payments.
Somehow they managed to blow the open house.
So we've hit failure, yeah?
This is our open house?
I look like a complete idiot when people show up at this house.
It looks like it still needs some work.
Everybody's complaining, nobody's getting paid, and everybody's pissed off. And I'm ready for a beer.
More people came and went, most of them shaking their heads.
Just waiting for the day to end.
Late that afternoon, a woman came by the house that Malcolm had met at the Golden Nugget. They walked the red carpet and Malcolm gave them a tour. To Malcolm's surprise, she said she may be interested in the house.
If you give your details to Bill, the agent, then he'll forward them to me, and hopefully we can make a deal. Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice to meet you, and I'm really glad you like the house.
Malcolm paid everyone and rented a suite to have a party for the workers.
I've learnt a few hard lessons in Las Vegas, but I'm coming back here to take a few more quid out of the place.
Alex was wondering how many quid Malcolm could possibly take out of Las Vegas before turning into Phil. The next morning, the workers began the final cleanup of the house. The kitchen was installed and Malcolm was happy with how everything was looking. Bill stopped by to tell him that the woman from the day before was making a cash offer of $245,000.
It doesn't leave me a lot of change for champagne, but still, a property sold is a property sold. I've had my ass kicked backwards and forwards, up and down, but I've still got hold of it.
Take the 245, go back to England, rest up, come back, we'll do it right.
I have a buyer, mate.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It was $20,000 less than he wanted, but hard to turn down. By the end of the day, James had the house cleaned up and Champagne Malky's vision came to life.
I really thought the job should take me about 8 weeks.
It took more than 5 months, but in the end, the job was completed.
The house is really great.
Malcolm is determined to drag Las Vegas out of the 70s, one kitchen at a time.
The tile in the bathroom is beautiful. Barry did a really great job.
Even though they had blown the open house, they had still managed to find a buyer.
I got skinned up a bit in Las Vegas. I nearly lost my ass. My balls were stretched halfway across. I seem to have regained my balls. I've sold the property for a fairly decent price. I'm gonna get my money back. I've made a few quid. While I'm sitting on the beach in Ibiza, I'm going to scheme hard of how I'm not gonna have my balls stretched so much. It's gonna be the rest of their balls are getting stretched. Me, I'm gambling. Talk about fake.
It was getting old and stale, and then having him on the job, he just makes me laugh all the time.
I like Malcolm. We hit it off good. I got good electricity from him.
If you think about becoming a personal assistant, do your homework before you get out here, because it's brutal.
I'm coming back to skin some contractors up.